Дорогие друзья, добрый день! У нас остается буквально пару минут до начала мероприятия. Спасибо большое, что сегодня подключились заранее. So, hello everyone, thank you very much for joining in advance. We still have a couple of minutes to go, so please be patient. The event is about to start. So finally, it's 1 a.m. sharp Moscow time, and we are starting the event. Добрый день, дорогие друзья! Еще раз здравствуйте всем, кто уже с нами здоровался и кто только к нам подключается. Мы очень рады вас приветствовать на нашем мероприятии. Мы наконец-то можем начинать наш прекрасный семинар по магистратуре и смены специальности. Итак, давайте сначала выясним, можете ли вы меня слышать, можете ли вы меня видеть и видеть наших прекрасных спикеров. Пожалуйста, напишите в общий чат «да», «нет», «не знаю», «ничего не слышно», «ничего не видно». Как-нибудь, пожалуйста, обозначьте себя, да, не стесняйтесь. Так, неужели не слышно? So can you hear me, guys? Okay. So can you see my screen? Okay, I can see that all is working. Thank you very much for commenting, everyone. Thank you. Итак, друзья, мы сегодня открываем нашу неделю, практически неделю, наш марафон по мероприятиям в Великобритании. Мы очень рады, что сегодня вы решили провести с нами выходные. Давайте знакомиться. Прежде чем я представлю спикеров, хотела бы сказать, как меня зовут. Меня зовут Мария Шуркова, я руководитель отдела, который занимается образованием в Великобритании. Я тот человек, который знает Великобританию лучше, чем Москву и, наверное, Россию. Вот, говорю это, наверное, все-таки с гордостью. Великобритания – это любовь. Надеюсь, что смогу поделиться всеми своими знаниями, умениями, и буду рада помочь вам. Кто же мы такие? Почему же проходит сегодня это мероприятие? Хочу напомнить, если кто-то еще с нами не знаком, организовывает такой субботний лекторий компания Students International. Мы самое крупное образовательное консалтинговое агентство. Это, наверное, самое опытное и самое, не побоюсь, старенькое. Мы вместе с вами уже 28 лет, пошли на 29-й. Надеюсь, это только говорит хорошее о нас. Мы работаем со всеми уровнями образования, как вы можете видеть, курсы, средние школы, бакалавриат, магистратура, непрофильная магистратура. Мы все знаем, все можем, и надеюсь, что вам с нами будет комфортно и полезно. На картинке вы можете видеть примерное количество студентов, которые мы отправляем в год на разные уровни обучения. Ковид попытался нам все испортить, но и здесь мы его победили, поэтому надеюсь, что будем дальше идти только вперед и только вместе с вами, ребята. Мы заинтересованы в том, чтобы вы все смогли и все сумели, и абсолютно все уровни и все этапы поступления прошли на ура. И именно для этого мы открыли несколько подразделений, друзья. Все для вас. Мы не только занимаемся поступлением в зарубежные вузы, в частности, вузы Великобритании, вообще моя любовь и любимое дело, но и мы помогаем вам подготовиться к экзамену IELTS. Для этого у нас есть своя супершкола, которая делает курсы как онлайн сейчас, потому что, очевидные, да, причины, так и очно. Если вы не только из Москвы, но и из какого-то другого города, вы можете с нами заниматься. У нас потрясающие преподаватели, сами учились многие в Великобритании, сдают IELTS в качестве хобби каждые пару месяцев, поэтому будут рады и вас натаскать на девятки. А вот, кстати, интересный такой вопрос. А из каких вы городов у нас? Давайте-ка напишем нам либо в секции Q&A, надеюсь, что эту секцию вы тоже сможете найти, или в чат-боксе. Поэтому, пожалуйста, поделитесь с нами, нам очень интересно. И как только мы подготовим вас к сдаче экзаменов, то вы можете приходить в наш аккредитованный IELTS тест-центр и сдавать IELTS UK VI, который можно сдать только у нас, и который обязательно, подчеркиваю жирным, выделяю курсивом, нужен для pre-masters, про которые мы сегодня будем говорить. Все контактные данные вы видите на ваших экранах. Обращаю ваше внимание, что несмотря на то, что вы можете подумать, что найдете контакты только московского офиса. Это не так. У нас 45 офисов на территории России, Украины и Казахстана. Переходите на наш сайт, выбирайте город. Готова поспорить, что там вы найдете наш офис 100%. Так, почему же стоит доверять Students International? Можете спросить меня вы, особенно если мы еще только знакомимся. Мы были удостоены самой престижной награды от Study and Travel Magazine. Это издание Великобритании, наверное, самое важное издание в нашей индустрии. Это такой Оскар в мире образования. Мы уже являемся суперстар. Это значит, что мы 5 лет подряд становились лучшим агентством Восточной Европы. Сейчас нас не пускают соревноваться и сказали, чтобы мы просто сидели тихонько в зале славы и, в общем, помогали выбирать партнеров, таких как коллеги, с которых я вот уже совсем скоро вам представлю. Вы видите самый сакральный слайд, как нас найти. Я, конечно же, еще раз покажу контактные данные чуть позже в ходе нашего семинара. Если очень захочется с нами поговорить, наш телефон увидите на экране, можете написать нам на europe@studenter.ru, найти все наши подразделения на нашем официальном сайте studenter.ru и будем общаться. А по поводу же, чего мы будем общаться, сейчас опять же вам расскажу. Как я отмечала в начале нашего семинара, мы проводим огромное количество мероприятий. Причем ковид нас подтолкнул к креативности, и именно в этом году мы делаем самые топовые, самые невероятные мероприятия вместе с нашими коллегами. Например, Энди сегодня с утра в субботу подключился к нам, чтобы рассказывать вам, как же можно изменить свою судьбу посредством получения образования, даже с непрофильным дипломом. Поэтому наберитесь терпения и придумывайте уже вопрос потихонечку. Далее вас ждет не только простые какие-то вебинары, да, как могли бы вы подумать. Вас ждут прямые включения с кампусов, такого еще никогда не было. Мы побеждаем ковид, друзья, вместе с нами, вместе с нашими вузами. Уже через неделю мы заставим Энди ходить по кампусу с видеокамерой и показывать, каково же это учиться в эпоху ковида. Life goes on. Поэтому не переживайте. И обязательно подключайтесь, чтобы посмотреть, как выглядит один из топовых вузов изнутри. Помимо этого, наши студенты покажут внутренность общежитий, как они живут, что они делают, как выглядят классы, поделятся своими testimonials, поэтому обязательно подключайтесь. Бонусом будут индивидуальные консультации с представителями приемных комиссий. Целую неделю мы будем вас зачислять отвечать прям в прямом эфире, поэтому собирайте документы, задавайте вопросы и обязательно подключайтесь. Нас поддерживает торговая палата посольства Великобритании, и сам глава департамента образования Великобритании будет с нами, друзья, поэтому ушки на макушке, внимательно следите за нашей информацией, мы обязательно этим поделимся. And now it's high time for me to switch into English, finally. So we're about to start our event, the very event why we are here today on a Saturday morning for Andy and for us, like for Saturday afternoon. Nevertheless, thank you very much again for joining. So sometimes it's really hard to predict like how can you succeed in the future? What should you choose in order to succeed, right? And it relates to the education as well. So it's really hard to choose when you're finishing the high school, when you're finishing the secondary school, the very subject that will help you to excel, that will help you to become a successful professional. And sometimes we do make the wrong choices, which is totally okay. And we can amend everything. We can change everything. And yeah, this could happen to the best of us, right? So it's not the end of the world. And you can study indeed something really different to what you've studied on your initial degree. So if you're asking me, is it possible to apply for a master's with a non-relevant degree? Totally, yes. Can you study business while having, I don't know, a hospitality bachelor? Of course. Can you study, I don't know, IT? It's really hard. Can you study computer science with non-relevant diploma? Again, yes, of course. And we're about to tell you like how you can do that. And even if you feel the, I don't know, the creative urge within yourself after completing a bachelor degree, again, it's totally possible. And I'm really happy to present our first speaker of honor, Mr. Andy Queen, who's joining us from London this Saturday morning. Andy is a college director for Kaplan International Colleges. So thank you very much, Andy, for joining us. And finally, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Maria, and it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, it's very interesting listening to what Maria said there about changing her mind about studies. It's a long time ago since I was 18 years old, but I remember then I didn't really choose a degree. I just fell into it because it seemed the thing that I was good at the time. Was it the right thing? I don't know. I then moved into a career and so on. But it's, you know, are you old enough at 17, 18 to know where your future direction lies? Maybe for some people who want to be a doctor, for example, yes. And of course, if you want to be a doctor, you can't do a degree in fine art and then decide to be a doctor. But as Maria said, in many other careers, your first degree is not so relevant. What the universities are interested in at master's level is the quality of your brain, not necessarily the subject you studied in your first degree. So thank you for introducing me. It's nice to be here. It's a strange situation in the world at the moment, as we know, and lots of bad things around. But one of the good things is that, you know, I don't need to get on a plane and come all the way to Russia to come and speak to you on a Saturday morning. I can just put on a shirt over my pajamas and switch on my laptop and speak to you. So here I am today. So what I'm going to do is talk to you a little bit about you know, education generally, and then talk about the college that I run in London, in the hope that one day you will consider it as a place to come and study. So let me share my screen with you. Are you, is it okay, Maria, if I
Totally, of course. Please do.
Okay,
While
so
you're sharing, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to drop a comment that we have people from all over Russia, from Novosibirsk, from Irkutsk, from Moscow and St. Pete, obviously, from Nizhny Novgorod, even from Krasnoyarsk. So you have all the best crowd attendee today.
Great. From west to east, fantastic. Well, I haven't been to Russia for a few years, but it's a wonderful country. So I assume that you're at least considering the idea of studying in the UK. So perhaps this slide isn't necessary, but I'm sure it's worth reminding ourselves why the UK is an attractive study destination. And of course, it's become more attractive recently because we now have a 2-year post-study visa, which students can have automatically when they finish their degree. They can stay in the UK for 2 years, looking for work, doing an internship, this kind of thing. And that's a very attractive possibility for a lot of people. And there are some other reasons for it. London, of course, there are many other places in the UK, but nothing is quite the same as London. It is a fantastic city, not only to visit as a tourist, not only to see, but also to live in and to study in. It is a great place to study, lots of fantastic universities, lots of study possibilities. Not cheap, but then quality never is. So this is me. What we offer at the college is a range of programs, some of which might be interesting to you, others would not be. We run foundation certificates, an international year 1, and a pre-master's program in various subjects. So we'll focus on that program this morning. The last academic year, we had 86 different nationalities, I think, in the college. It's a college for international students. That's why we exist. Our job, and we've been doing it for 12 years now, our job is to help students from around the world who don't have British qualifications to reach the level required to progress to a British university. These aren't flags of the countries which our students came from. We don't have any students from Antarctica, for example. It's just a pretty picture with lots of coloured maps on there. But we do have lots and lots of students from lots and lots of different places. We work with 8 very good UK universities. I'm sure you recognise some or all of these. We work in different ways with different universities. Some universities we do a foundation program, an international year 1 and a pre-masters. With others it's just pre-masters, with others it's just foundation. But these are all excellent universities that recognise recognise the quality of our programs as suitable for entry to their universities. So last year we had 300 and something students on pre-masters programs, progressing to 5 of our partners. And, you know, our students are very good, we're very good, and the vast majority of our students reach the requirements to go on to the university they wanted to go to. Just to explain the way that works, so you don't have to apply to these universities. You get an offer from Kaplan, which is like a joint offer. So it says on the letter, you know, thank you for choosing Kaplan for your pre-masters program. Provided you reach the following grades, you progress automatically to University X. So if you wanted, for example, to go to City, then you would receive an offer which would say, providing you score 60% overall in your program, in your pre-masters program, provided you score 65 in your English exam on the Kaplan program, you automatically go to City for that degree. We pass your results to the university. When you finish your program, you don't need to apply again. the university then send you an offer and you work with the university from then on. So it's very simple. It's very smooth, providing you work hard and reach your requirements, of course. But as you can see, most of our students do. So we'll focus on City to start with. Some information about City, if you don't know it or you don't know much about it. It's an excellent London university, part of the University of London, which isn't really a single thing. It's a collection of universities. The best universities in London are part of the University of London, but the University of London itself doesn't exist except as a collection of institutions like City. Again, it's a very international university, one of the most international in the country. Of course, it's London, which attracts a lot of international students. A lot of their staff are international. It creates a really interesting environment for students. Some of you will have heard of Cass Business School, which is not called Cass anymore. I can explain why if you want me to, but it's the same. It's now called City University Business School. That's extremely well rated across the world. And interestingly, out of the 140, 150 universities in the UK, depends how you define a university, it is one of the best in terms of the sort of salaries that its graduates attract once they have graduated. So, and that's for various reasons. It's a very good university for professional people, for people who want to go on to study a profession and therefore attract a good salary. Maria, do you want me to answer questions as people raise their hand, or what do you want to do?
We will answer to all the questions after the presentation. I think we should give some time to our listeners to come up with the questions. Yeah. And I just wanted to mention that our event is being broadcasted on social media, on Facebook, Russian Facebook and YouTube. So we'll be having some questions from there, and I will voice them all for you. So please just go on.
Great. So the person who raised their hand there, you might want to just put the question in the chat, Maria. Is that the best thing to do? Or wait till the end to ask the question? It's not just business that City does. It does a whole range of university programs, and very well ranked in many different areas. So in terms of Kaplan International College's relationship with City, so we've been working with them for over 10 years. They were our first university partner. Hundreds of students have gone from Kaplan to City during that time. Growing numbers. Last year, 160 of our students reached their requirements to go to City. And we work very closely with City. So students on a City pathway get a City University ID card, which they can use to use the library, the sports facilities, the social facilities, clubs and societies. A little bit more difficult at the moment, these things, because of the COVID-19 situation. Not everything is easily accessible, but I'll come back to that in a moment. And we also have a good scholarship scheme. So the students who do really well in their studies at Kaplan get a really good discount off the tuition fees in their first year at City. So in terms of the master's degrees that are available at City, there are probably close to 100, but I've just put a few here in the sort of professional business management, these sort of areas, so you can see the sort of things that some of our students study. There are many more, and I'm sure Maria can give you more information about the whole range of master's degrees that are available, but there are some of them. And the program itself, the pre-master's program, is a 2-term program, approximately 20 to 25 weeks of study. You can start in September and finish in May. You can start in January and finish in August, or you can start in March and finish in September and still have enough time to get to university to start your master's. I'll just mention it now. Obviously, we're in an interesting situation in the world where not everybody is able or willing to travel to another country to start their studies. So halfway through last year, when everything started with the coronavirus in the end of March in the UK, we closed the college and we went completely online. So from the Friday when 1,300 students were studying in the college to the following Monday, we just switched it online. We had lots of training and we knew what we were doing. We had the technological platforms, and we already did quite a lot of our teaching through the virtual learning environment. So we switched online. Everybody went online, same teachers, same classes, same timetable, same everything. It's just that people were studying either from their accommodation in London, or they went home and completed their program at home. An amazing experience. Our students still reached their requirements, still attended their classes, stayed focused, and did really well. So we were very pleased the way that happened in emergency circumstances. This academic year, we decided from the beginning that we would offer students 3 possibilities. They could either come to the UK and do their studies here, like normal. What is normal these days? Or they could start their program online and then come to the UK when they're ready. Or they could start their program online and finish it online. So that's where we are for this academic year. Those are still the 3 ways that students can study. At the moment, we have about 750 students enrolled. About a third of those students have come to the UK and are studying on their programs. The others are studying exactly the same programs with the same teachers, same curriculum, same syllabus, at the same speed, assessments at the same time, same kind of assessments. So whenever a student wants to come to the UK, having started their program online, they just come and they can just start their program at exactly the same point in the UK. Even if they have to quarantine for 2 weeks, they can start their program while they're quarantining and then come to the college 2 weeks later. So it's a good flexible system that we have this year, which takes account of the situation that we're in and doesn't stop students from still achieving their dreams and going on to university. So that the program is a general pre-master's program. It's not extremely specialized. There are 2 modules that everybody studies, English effectively, and the research project. The research project, in simple terms, students choose an area that they're interested in their future degree studies, and they do a research project effectively, which is a very useful skill, especially to learn how to do that in the British educational context, because obviously academic norms are different from one country to another. The way, for example, that you use sources, that you reference other material is often very different from one country to another. So it's important to understand those things and how they're going to be when the students move on to a British Masters. Then we have some electives. Students study 2 of these. There is a degree of choice, although for some degrees the university have specified that for this degree, we want students to study that one, or that one, and they can choose the other one. So there's various, so there's an element of choice for most students. And that's it. The students do these 4 modules. They have a variety of assessments through the program and at the end of the program. They have to attend their classes. It's a full-time study, sort of 10 to 15 hours a week of classroom study, but lots of work to be done outside the classroom, before classes, after classes. And provided students work hard and attend their classes, they succeed. You don't have to be a genius to pass these programs. You just need to work hard, stay focused, do your best, and if you do that, then you will succeed.
Right, and I interrupt you for just one time.
Please do.
Could you tell us how this pre-master program actually helps people who are changing direction in life? Because a lot of students think that it's completely impossible to go from something different into business, but this program is created for that. Could you tell us how it works with this system?
Yeah. I'm just going to shut the door because the dog's just walked in.
И пока Энди в общем, решает вопрос шумоизоляции, хотела бы вам представить нашего гуру, представителя Kaplan International Colleges, Валентина Никитина. Сегодня будет с нами отвечать на все ваши прекрасные вопросы. Валя знает о своих колледжах все и даже больше, поэтому приветствуем ее. И возвращаем обратно слово Энди. So, Andy, sorry about that. The floor is all yours again.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, well, you can see, especially if a student is converting, if you like, from a non-business degree to a business degree, you can see that some of the subjects amongst the elective modules are created for that kind of student: project management, strategic management, organizational management, possibly statistics if the degree the student is going on to requires some amount of statistical ability. So there's to some extent it's the subjects themselves that the students study, and of course the teachers don't assume that the students have already studied certain subjects in their first degree, because as we know, often the reason that the student is doing the pre-master's program is because their first degree isn't in business, isn't in the subject they're going to study at master's level. So the teachers are not assuming that you've done 4 years of organizational behavior or whatever the topic is. They will teach you the basics to a certain level to help you progress. And again, I think the universities are, except in very specialized area like medicine or something like that, the universities are more interested in your academic skills than the actual knowledge that you have in a particular subject. So what we're teaching you is the transferable skills that apply to any master's degree. And whether that's the important area of research, for example, or the various academic literacies, those are the things that we're teaching, along with some subject content. And of course, lots of English, because most Russians have excellent English, but it may not be quite at the level that the university needs, and some of our universities will require 70, which is like the equivalent of 7 in IELTS, and not all our students are at that level, so we will help them reach that level so that when they start their degree program, they're absolutely in the same position as UK students starting on the same program. Okay. I thought I'd give you an idea what the college looks like. Obviously, if you do study with us, you don't have to come to London. As I said before, you can start your program online. You could even finish it online and never even come to London. But hopefully, as things improve, and you know, it's not an easy thing to say at the moment, but I think genuinely things are improving across the world, in your country, in our country, across the globe. And you know, all being well, in a few months, we will be in a much better position. But anyway, this is what the college looks like, in case you want to see it. Oh, that's me. I think that's me wearing the same shirt that I'm wearing now. Actually, I have washed it. That's me in the reception of the college, the student services area behind me. I'll just show you these photographs. One thing that is very important to say before I show you these photographs is that the photographs were taken before COVID. Okay, so you will see students and staff very close together doing things that we don't do now in the world because we can't get close to each other in the same way. So don't be worried if you see, you know, classrooms full of people. They're much more spaced out these days. So here is a typical classroom in our college. As I mentioned, these days we don't have 4 or 5 people on each table. We have 2. Usually the teacher doesn't move around quite as much, but more interestingly is the actual the configuration of this classroom. These are not classrooms where the teacher stands at the front, the students sit in rows and they listen carefully while the teacher fills their head full of knowledge and then they take notes and that's it. No, it's much more interactive, much more participatory. We believe in the UK higher education system that the best way to learn is by interacting with the material. So we expect students to participate in the class, to talk, to ask questions, to speak to each other, to challenge the teacher, you know, so that it's a proper two-way exchange of knowledge, not a passive activity. So these are how the classes work. There's lots of space in the college. So in fact, you know, social distancing, which is what we're practicing at the moment, is not difficult because we have lots and lots of space, not only in the classrooms, but outside the classrooms as well. Oh, we don't do that anymore, obviously, sharing pizzas. You can't even do that with your family anymore these days. And I thought I'd give you an idea of where the college is. So the location is absolutely fantastic. We're right in the centre of London, next to a place called London Bridge. London Bridge is not the bridge that everybody talks about with the up and down. That's Tower Bridge. London Bridge is actually a very boring concrete bridge, but it's right in the centre of London. And London Bridge has an amazing history of 2,000 years of history right in the centre of London. The students on the left at the bottom, the 3 girls, they're standing on the roof of the building, looking out across the river and to the financial district, the City of London, across the river. We are 1 minute walk from Borough Market, which is a lovely food market, which is a fantastic place to buy your lunch or get some treats. It's a really nice place to work and to study, because most places in central London, when you walk out the door, you have traffic and noise and pollution, whereas where we are, it's a sort of pedestrianised area, very, quiet in terms of cars, not much traffic, lots of people, but not much traffic. So it's really nice. And one of the most amazing things about living in London, like in some of your cities, is this mix of old and new, of ancient and modern. So this building on the left is, nearly 900 years old. It's the remains of a palace which was where the Bishop of Winchester used to live when he had business in London. In those days, bishops were very important and powerful political people as well as religious people, and this is what's left of his house, and that's literally attached to the college. The college is just on the left there. And on the right, we're 5 minutes walk from the tallest building in Western Europe, the Shard, which was completed a few years ago, and just across the river, as you can see, from the financial district from the city. So amazing mix of modern and traditional, and we are 5, 10, 15 minutes maximum walk away from all these things, some of which you will have seen or heard of or even been to. So that's my presentation. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. So over to Maria and Valentina to take things forward.
Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you for your presentation, for your time. In fact, we do have a lot of questions over here. So if you don't mind, I'll just translate them to you, because we have both from the chat box and from social media. So you're getting really popular with those students. Right. So all over Russia, you will have to come when it's safe, of course, to travel. So you'll have to come and visit us in person then. So the first question is, what's the minimum GPA in order to apply for a pre-master's degree? We all know that City University is really highly ranked, especially if we're talking about business programs. So what's the minimum level of GPA, so to say?
Yep, that's a good question. Some of these questions I'm going to refer to my colleague Valentina to answer, because just to explain how it works in the college, we have actually, Kaplan has 10 pathway colleges around the UK, not only in London, but we also have 9 other colleges which are on the campus of British universities. So we have a college on the campus of Liverpool University, Glasgow, York, Nottingham, lots of other colleges as well. Because of that, we don't have a marketing, recruitment, admissions department in our college. We have one for all those colleges. So they do all the work with the students before they arrive, and then we look after and we teach the students when they arrive. For that reason, I don't know the details of every entry qualification to get onto our programs to get an offer. Valentina, are you able to answer that question?
Absolutely, but I'm going to casually answer that in Russian, if you don't mind, just to hide information from you, so you never can answer that question. Anyway, на самом деле для City University of London то, что мы хотим видеть, это примерно 4 из 5. Я говорю это так, потому что все студенты приносят нам очень разные оценки. Я видела даже систему процентов и систему 3, 2, 1, 0, по-моему, в Бауманке. Примерно вы должны ориентироваться где-то на минимум 70% академической успеваемости. Но есть и одна хорошая новость. Любой университет старается максимально понять ситуацию студента. Если у вас была какая-то причина, почему ваши оценки чуть-чуть ниже, чем они должны быть, пожалуйста, приходите, пожалуйста, рассказывайте нам. Может быть, будет нужно написать что-то типа мотивационного объяснительного письма, где вы говорите, что я был неправ, но я исправился, теперь я готов учиться хорошо. И мы помогаем таким студентам с помощью ND и KICL, Kaplan International College London, достичь нужного уровня, чтобы в сети их ждали и ждали с открытым сердцем. Но пока давайте ориентироваться на 70 академических процентов успеваемости. Где-то так.
Отлично, спасибо большое. Like we have another question, so I'll be asking you both then, and like whoever prefers the questions, please do grab it and answer. So we have another question from Daria. Could you please advise if the intakes for all the pre-masters programs are the same, or like you have special intakes for business pre-masters and like special intakes for, I don't know, social sciences, etc., etc.
Yeah, when you say intakes, does Daria mean dates or
start date?
No, they're all start dates are available for all programs. So September, January, and March. And if the student, because not all Russian students speak fantastic English, most do, but not all of them. We also have dates before those intakes if the student needs half a term or a term of English to bring them up to the level required by the academic 2-term program. So in theory, you could start in July, do a term of English, and then start your pre-master's in September and finish in May. You could start in January with a few weeks of English and then move on to your pre-master's program in March.
You're being really cheeky. I think that you secretly know Russian because we have the very next question is just about just what you've said. So I think you secretly know Russian. I won't believe it. So we can skip this one and move on to another one then. Does it really matter what bachelor specialization you have if you want to go to a pre-masters in order to convert later to a master's in business, or can it be really anything?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I'll answer, and then Valentina, you might want to say a few things as well. I mean, it's difficult to be definitive about every degree and every master's, as I said before. Clearly, if the masters you want to study in is, let me think of something, I don't know, biomedical science or something like that. Clearly, if you've done a first degree in, as I said before, fine art, that I don't think there would be any pre-masters program that would prepare you sufficiently for that. But for 90% of degrees, you don't require that level of specialization. Anything you want to add there, Valentina?
I agree with you completely. Once again, cheekily jumping into Russian. Это отличный ответ со стороны Энди, это действительно так. Невозможно сказать про все бакалавры, все магистры, все подготовки, но the rule of thumb здесь, да, то есть общее правило такое. Если вы прыгаете внутри гуманитарного сектора или хотя бы приближенно гуманитарного сектора, скажем, с, let me say, fine art и, допустим, business, условный, обобщенный гуманитарный сектор. Этот прыжок можно будет сделать. Вам нужно быть морально готовым к тому, что, во-первых, pre-master – это обязательно то, что с вами случится. Вам это самому будет нужно или самой ради подготовки. Если вы захотите прыгать с fine art в инженерное дело, прыжок будет тяжелым, если вообще возможно. Слишком велика разница между этими направлениями. Но то, о чем рассказывал Энди, то есть прыжок в сторону economics, business, etc., это возможно. То есть будьте готовы стараться, учиться, но pre-мастер вас подготовит, и не закрывайте для себя эту возможность. Многие из нас начали свой бакалавр не с того, с чего хотели. Очень многие, включая, мне кажется, присутствующих где-то тоже.
Спасибо большое. Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you very much, Vala. We're getting really on fire now, social media. So if you don't mind me just voicing some questions from our Facebook. So I will do so right now. So Akbar Ali asks, he's currently studying on his final course of a bachelor degree in Russia, and would it be possible to apply for like something technical oriented university in the UK at the moment if he's studying nanotechnology now? Oh yes, obviously, yes, you do. Yeah, like you can do that. And is it possible to study and work at the same time? So I'll switch into Russian and cover this one. if you don't mind. Да, конечно, у вас технически направленная специальность, поэтому продолжить техническую магистратуру, безусловно, вы можете. И отличная новость, не только у нас есть теперь возможность для наших студентов, я имею в виду, учиться по постстадии, работать по постстадии визе после окончания магистратуры, но и можно подрабатывать до 20 часов в неделю по вашей студенческой визе. Поэтому, конечно, это, безусловно, будет неполный рабочий день, как я уже сказала, потому что ваша главная цель – это учеба и получение качественного, сильного образования, но подрабатывать, безусловно, вы можете для того, чтобы улучшить ваше резюме и подтянуть английский, возможно, получить практику, безусловно. У нас есть еще один вопрос. Так. Okay, so if I have a degree, a bachelor degree in law, would it be possible to apply to City University but choose another specialty, for instance, psychology? Would it be possible?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Psychology is it's an interesting subject, psychology, in the UK, because it's a bit like architecture in the sense that if you're an architect, you can look at buildings from an engineering point of view or from an artistic point of view. So often with architecture, there are sort of different ways into architecture and different specializations within architecture, depending on which of those facets you're looking at it. Psychology, for some degrees, requires a high level of mathematical ability, sort of scientific brain, as it were. In other cases, in other universities, they don't require that level of mathematical ability. I think it's a bit of a tricky one. I think it's probably true that law to psychology is possible. It may depend on the university. Valia, do you have any knowledge there?
You are right. It would also depend on the justification. So you would have to explain how your previous degree, or maybe your previous experiences. Some people, they have a career in a field they didn't study for, and that's perfectly fine and actually a pretty common occurrence. You would need to explain why you want psychology, how you're prepared for it, how pre-master would better prepare you for it. I would say it's a good example. It's a great example of what we were talking about, and I actually really like the metaphor with the architecture. You're very right. I would say if you're keen to find out more, please do bring in your documents. It would be also interesting to look at what exactly you studied during your bachelor's, because, you know, the name of the degree doesn't necessarily give you a clear judgment. The subjects inside do. So please bring it in. I believe Maria would be able to give you a clear perspective, and we would definitely liaise with the university to let you know more about that. Good one, good question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. And I suggest answering one more question and then to move on because we have a lot of special guests and special bonuses today. So we can't, unfortunately, keep Andy forever with us. We do want to, but like it's a Saturday, so we need to be on time. So Kate is asking, let's say she's obtained a student visa, but due to the border closure, she's been studying online. Like I'm sure that won't happen, but like let's just pretend, let's imagine. Would it be possible to go to the UK for 2 years, like we are talking about post-study, in order to apply for post-study visa that Andy mentioned during his presentation, in order to find the employment? Is it even possible that she would obtain a post-study visa if she's been studying online, or it's not really possible at all?
That's a really good question, and it may be something we need to look up. yes, students who've completed a degree from a UK university can get the 2-year post-study work visa. Obviously, we haven't had a full academic year yet online to test whether that's applicable for students who haven't even been in the UK. I don't know if there's an answer to that question yet, but it is a really important one. Valentina, do you know anything there?
I agree about the fact that we haven't run the whole year to have all of the answers, but what I can definitely say is that the British government has been making a lot of, in my personal perspective, correct steps to make sure that the students are comfortable. And given the situation right now, they understand very well that students want to keep coming, studying, being on campus, and all of this was granted to all the possible flexibility was offered as much. I feel like British citizens got less flexibility than students coming in. Good for us, bad for them. So I would say that if there is any way to make that possible, it would be made possible. Can I guarantee that at this specific moment? Probably no. But what I would suggest doing is definitely keeping an eye on it, applying if you're interested in the course and seeing what is on offer, and hopefully, potentially, seeing that you are able to come. Maybe it's a short time that you have to come, but trying to make that happen. Currently, you can, and you can get a visa, you can arrive to the UK, you will have to quarantine, but you still can do all of those steps.
Yeah, I mean, if the student who's asking that question, if he or she becomes, makes an application to us, we can start looking into that question. Or if he or she is going straight to a British university, that's a question you can ask them, obviously, as part of the application procedure. I'm sure there is an answer somewhere, but I'll certainly start asking that question of our Director of Compliance, who's the person who knows all the things about visas, to see if she knows or if she can find out what the answer to that question is, so that when you apply to study with us, we can give you that answer.
That's cheeky. I recently attended a referendum from the Home Office on this post-study visa route. And as of now, we can't say, as you already mentioned, we can't say for sure whether it's possible, if the students who studied online would be eligible at all for that. But if a student studied online only for a part of his program, they would be qualified for this visa route. So yeah. This is the good news, and we're supposed to find out more in April, I suppose. This is exactly when they usually publish all the amendments, etc. But again, with the current situation, we can't say for sure. So let's keep an eye on it, and we will definitely be sharing news when we find out more. So Катерина, мы обязательно с вами поделимся всей информацией, как только появятся какие-то официальные подтвержденные новости. So, okay, I think we need to give the word to Adrian now. He's been waiting for a while we're getting cozy with our Q&A. So thank you very much, Andy, for spending Saturday morning with us. It's been a real pleasure. And I do hope that you will visit us really soon in Russia. It's your turn now. We visited you in January, so now it's your turn.
Absolutely, I'll be there as soon as I can. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Valentina. Hello, Adrian, and good luck to everybody in your life and your studies. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. And now we are finally moving south, and we are moving off to Bournemouth. And now we are having Adrian Lee here, who is a communication and progress coordinator, who's going to help us to find out the ways how to implement our creative urge to getting master's degree. So Adrian, you can share your screen now. The floor is all yours, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Excellent. Thank you very much for having me. And I will just share with you at the moment. Okay. Are we in presentation mode? Can we see okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Yes. Off you go.
Excellent. Welcome. So as mentioned by Maria, I am Adrian and I am the Communication and Progression Coordinator here at Bournemouth University International College. A massive welcome to all of you and a huge thank you for joining and a huge thank you for the opportunity. So in this session, we will cover three main aspects. First is Bournemouth, which is where we are located. Then Bournemouth University, our progression university, and then here, Bournemouth University International College. So Bournemouth is located on the south coast of England. It is about 2 hours from London, so you can fly into London Heathrow or Gatwick, or you can get a direct train from Waterloo. As you can see, it is surrounded by lots of things to do. In the bottom left corner is close to Poole and not far from Bath and Southampton. Bournemouth is extremely famous for its award-winning beaches. There is between 7 and 8 miles of wonderful golden beaches, which are very packed in the summer. It was recently awarded the 6th best beach in Europe by TripAdvisor. So that is one of the main pulls of the town. You may also recognise Bournemouth for having a successful football team. Up until last season, they were in the Premier League, for those of you who follow English football. And so they also brought recognition to us here. So Bournemouth has a lot of sunshine. It is probably the highest mean temperatures. I think it's second actually in the summer of 2019 and averaged under 9 hours of sunshine a day. It's a lot warmer than the north and we have less rain. But as I'm speaking, it is raining, which is a shame. And so this summer was particularly beautiful and we had temperatures 30 to 32 degrees, which was very nice. As you can see on the right-hand side, that's the mean temperature of the UK. Many people think it's wet and cold for a lot of the time, and that's just not true. In the surrounding areas of Bournemouth, we have the New Forest, which is a national park. So when you're away from your studies, you can travel and have some picnics with your friends, surrounded by wild horses and other wildlife. It's extremely quiet. There's not a lot of cars. It's protected ground. And so there's not a lot of buildings either. So it's extremely peaceful, a really nice way to relax, particularly when the sun is out. There are some awesome things that happen in Bournemouth. We have the largest free air festival in the world, and we can all head down to the beach in August and watch planes such as the Red Arrows and other planes from around the world come and do stunts, which is an incredible experience. The Arts University has the Arts by the Sea, which is a weekend festival full of arts, lights, and adventures around the town. We have a Bournemouth Sevens festival, which is a rugby festival, as well as marathon festivals and many more. Here we have One World by the Sea, which was led by the college, which was a week full of activities to integrate the community and such a diverse town we have. Bournemouth has become really diverse in recent years. It was the second largest, had the second most language schools outside of London last year. And so that's created a really nice dynamic in the town. We also have BFX, which I'll touch on a bit later as it relates to some of the courses I'll talk about, and also Africa coming to Bournemouth, lots of dancing, lots of events, and a very diverse town. So moving on to Bournemouth University, this photo here is part of the main campus. It's the Student Union building and is a very popular building for students. So the academic quality of Bournemouth University, it was in the top 60 in the 2019 in the University Impact Rankings. In 2019, top 250 in the world for young universities. Bournemouth is a new university compared to a lot in the UK, and is in the top 500 in the world rankings of universities. So I'm just going to move my screen a little bit. So over 100 graduates have worked on Oscar and BAFTA winning films. Bournemouth University, as I mentioned, is such a diverse town, and the university is also diverse, with students from over 100 countries studying in the university. It is #1 for students on work placements, #1 in the United Kingdom. Last year it overtook Belfast, and so Bournemouth are extremely proud to be able to offer industry experience for their students. It is in the top 30 in the country for film production and photography, top 5 in the United Kingdom for the effectiveness of the teaching, and is also home to the world-renowned National Centre for Computer Animation. I will touch on that later as well. 96% of Bournemouth University's research is of international quality or better. It's in the top 20 nationally for journalism, publishing, and public relations. It's in the top 25 in the country for communication and media studies, 9th in the United Kingdom for hospitality, event management, and tourism, top 25 in the UK for marketing. And I shall move on to talk about some of these programs. So we'll start with tourism. I just mentioned it was 9th. It depends on the rankings that you look at. So these figures are completely up to date. So in the QS World Rankings for tourism and hospitality programs, Bournemouth University currently sits 10th in the world and has sat around that figure for the last few years, which shows an incredible program that is well respected globally. And BU is also ranked 10th in the United Kingdom for events, tourism, and hospitality management by the Complete University Guide. Again, something where they've sat in the top 10 for a number of years. So they continue to produce an excellent program for our ETHM students. So as I mentioned, the BAFTA Awards, 2018 finalists, some of the students. So some of the industry partnerships and accreditations, so you may recognize some of these names. The Association of British Travel Agents, ABTA, this is a requirement for all respectable tourist companies in the United Kingdom to have. It offers a protection and a confidence for the customer. And so ABTA, if a company has an ABTA, it is seen as well respected and trustworthy. So to have a partnership with them is fantastic. The Institute of Hospitality, it's an education member, has an education membership scheme, and also it has accreditation. Accreditation is always fantastic for your degrees. Despite the name of the university, to see that it's been accredited by some really respectable partners is impressive for if you're looking for a job or if you're looking for the skills to take forward your career. Institute of Travel and Tourism, BU is a corporate member. It has accreditation and is known as a Centre of Excellence. So the Institute of Travel and Tourism look very fondly upon Bournemouth University. It has accreditation from the Tourism Management Institute as well. And I'm sure that you are also be aware of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, where it has a partnership with the World Tourism Organization Academy. There's also accreditation from TEDQual. So the programs at Bournemouth University in tourism and hospitality and events are well accredited, well partnered, and give you the best opportunity of having a successful career. We can touch on media now. So as you can see there, there's Sully from Monsters Inc. That was given as a donation by a lead at Disney as a partner with Bournemouth University, and he's one of the highlights of our university tours. So if you're ever to visit the university, he sits there in the media faculty and loves a picture or two, definitely. So Bournemouth University was the first and the only centre for excellence in media practice. It also ranks in the top 10 for journalism, publishing, and public relations in the UK. The Animation Career Review, which is an independent United States group rates the BU's National Centre of Computer Animation as the #1 in the United Kingdom, the #1 animation school, and it's even ranked 4th in the world, which is just incredible considering how many universities have computer animation. To be ranked the best in the UK and the 4th best in the world is a credit to the university for all the excellent programs and alumni that they've produced. There's also Screen Skills tick accreditation on many of the film and animation courses. Just to confirm that the information on the top 10 comes from this year's Guardian University Guide, so that is very current. Some of the partnerships within the industry are the International Moving Image Society, BAFTA Albert, the Royal Television Society. Again, there's a lot of British, very well-respected companies here. The Event and Visual Communication Association. I'm sure you've all heard of BBC, the BBC Academy, Adobe, Apple, the National Council for the Training of Journalists, the Broadcasting Journalist Training Council, the Publishers Association, the Chartered Institute of Marketing, the Chartered Institute of Public Relations, and then finally Sony Computers Entertainment Europe. So again, the accreditation, the partnerships, and the rankings are creating some excellent programs for you to join at Bournemouth University. And that is why Bournemouth is becoming extremely well respected within the media industry. Just some additional mentions on the media and communication faculty at the university. Andy Lockley is a BU alumni, and he has won 2 Oscars and a BAFTA for his work on Inception, which was in 2010, and his work on Interstellar in 2014. Mark Adlington also won an Oscar with Ex Machina in 2016. He also was a Bournemouth University alumni. Over 60 graduates from Bournemouth University are credited on Avatar and Gravity. Over 60. That is an incredible number of students who went to Bournemouth University, who worked on probably 2 of the most successful visual effects films ever. And sometimes you can create information about how good your courses are. You can get all the recognition, but to have 60 students, well, it was over 60, I think it was just under 70, to have over that many students accredited on such 2 massive films explains everything that Bournemouth University provides for you. There were 4 nominations and 2 winners at the Royal Television Society Southern Awards last year. One of those was a student project called On the Rise, and the other one was a collaboration, so a partnership between students and staff called Indian Space Dreams, and so they were 2 winners. When we were looking at events earlier, one of them was the BFX, which I said we would talk about a bit later. So the BFX is the largest annual visual effects event in the United Kingdom. And as mentioned here, the founder and the host went to Bournemouth University as well. So that has grown incredibly large and is very well respected in the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, it was cancelled this year. We understand why, but I'm sure it'll be back again next year. Bournemouth University was actually the first university to be Houdini certified as well. And I had a look last week, and at the moment there are only 74 universities in the world that are accredited. And I think there were 7 in the UK. So it was the first one and is only one of 7 in the United Kingdom to have such certification. Bournemouth University was also a strategic partner with the Chartered Institute of Marketing. The CIM, the Institute of Marketing, is one of the most respected in the United Kingdom, and so that is a great partner to have. And then Bournemouth's journalism degree was the first to be accredited by all 3 professional bodies. So we touched on those earlier: the National Council for Training of Journalism, the Broadcasting Journalism Training Council, but also the professional publishers. So all 3 of the professional bodies in the UK look at BU's journalism degree and have accredited it. They want to be part of it, which is fantastic. We touched on Interstellar and some of the other films. However, graduates have also worked on some of these films that you'll recognize, including The Avengers, The Dark Knight, Harry Potter in the middle. So they're getting the education and the experience, the industry experience and skills to take them onto some big, big films. And that to me is quite exciting.
I think, Andy, that you've won everyone over Harry Potter. So you just sold it right now.
Absolutely. Some great films. And there are many more. Obviously, that's just one slide that I'm able to talk about, but there are many, many more. One of Bournemouth's biggest pulls, apart from all of that great stuff we've already talked about, is how employable their graduates are. Now, for me, that is super important. If you're leaving university, you would like to know that you are going into your favored career or you are going into a job within the industry. And so, as we touched on earlier, 60 graduates worked on the film Gravity, and I've forgotten. And so also, graduates are within work within 6 months. Just over 93% of their graduates who graduate university are in some kind of work within 6 months of graduating. And that is such a huge figure across universities in the UK. One of the reasons for that are work placements. Every single undergraduate course has the opportunity of one. And also now, I believe, just under 100% of the postgraduate courses have an opportunity to do a work placement at the end of their program. And so with that, 90% of BU graduates have work experience, which is more than any other university in the United Kingdom. So when you're going into a job market, not only do you have the skills, the education, but you also have the experience. And if you're going up against another graduate, then obviously that's going to help you. So I think that's really important. As you can see, some of the partners there, you will recognize BBC, Hilton, JP Morgan, British Airways, many more. And so fantastic opportunity there. Looking at the careers in event and film industry, this is the average pay based on Glassdoor, which was 3-month period this year. An event manager is earning just under £32,000 a year. A film and TV producer over 37,000. TV researchers are earning just under 33,000. A film editor is earning £34,000, and a media manager is earning just under 38. So to put that in relation to the average wage in the United Kingdom, the average wage in the UK is about £22,000. So obviously these jobs are desirable. They're well paid in comparison to the job market in the United Kingdom. And Bournemouth University's experience and skills are enabling students to end up in these jobs. So there are also BU scholarships available if you were to study a pre-masters at the college. If you were to achieve a GPA, so a grade average of 65 or more, you would have a reduction on your fees to Bournemouth University of £3,500 for postgraduate students. And that is a big saving. And so that's something that's, obviously we have that connection with Bournemouth University, and that is a great motivator. So I am sat at this reception, and just to talk a little bit about the college as well. We opened in September 2013, and so far we have supported about 2,190, I think it was when I checked, students from 96 nationalities who have progressed to Bournemouth University. Last year, we had 40 different nationalities within the college. As you can see, there's a whole range of students there from around the world, which creates such an awesome dynamic within the college. And because we're a slightly smaller college than some of the others, it's fantastic that we're able to build individual relationships and get to know our students by name rather than just being a number. And so it's a really nice family feel in the college, and it's great to have experience of students from all over the world. So looking at pre-masters in the college. So the requirements in the college are a successful completion of an undergraduate degree or a diploma. So that is open. If you have an undergraduate degree, there is a good chance that you'll be accepted onto our course. If you have a diploma, there's also a very good chance you'll be accepted, but that would have to be checked by admissions. And also an academic reference. So the English requirements, we've been very fortunate here at the college that our Russian students who have joined us have had excellent English. But if English was not as high as you would like, that's okay. So for entry to a postgraduate degree, the course length usually is 2 terms. And so you would study 2 terms of academic. However, if you needed some language input, that would come before your course started. So you could have up to 2 terms of language support. So as you can see below, if you needed 2 terms of language support, your IELTS would be around 4.5 with 4 in each skills. If you had a higher IELTS, obviously that's less input that you need. Okay. So all students take a set of common or similar modules to gain the key skills for university. And like I said, if your course is longer than the 2 terms, it will focus more on the English language and the skills to help you with your basic subject knowledge. So looking at pre-masters events, tourism and hospitality management. As you can see, there are 2 compulsory modules, English for academic purposes and the research project. English for academic purposes is your English module, which obviously you'll have requirements, English requirements that you need to meet at the end of that. If your English is very good and you have an IELTS that meets your requirement from the university, there can be a discussion about exemption. Okay, so don't worry if you feel your English is very, very good. Don't worry, you might not have to take that module, but we can have those discussions. The research project is something that you work on through your time and will be specific to you. So you'll be helped to decide a subject, and that's great experience for working towards projects going forward. And then you'll have 2 elective modules: project management, philosophy, history and culture, and strategic management. And so you would be able to pick 2 of those 3. That is something that you also have a small grace period. So if for 2 weeks you studied, let's say, philosophy, history and culture, and you didn't enjoy it, there could be a discussion about swapping. Okay, so what does a pre-masters get you onto Bournemouth University in this field? So currently we have events management and events marketing. We have international hospitality and tourism management. We have international management, tourism management, and tourism marketing management. Some of those sound very close in name, but as Valentina mentioned earlier, sometimes the name doesn't always describe the course content. And all of that information is available on the website. So also coming soon, and when I say soon, I mean very soon, as in the coming weeks, potentially by January, we will have hotel and food services management and sports management. So that is 2 great additions to this industry. Last year, we were very blessed to have some incredible Russian students, and I'm not just saying that because of this today. We had some very, very intelligent, very confident and motivated students. And Irina studied events, tourism and hospitality management, and she actually achieved the highest grade average ever in the college, ever, with an 86. That is something to get used to. The grading system is slightly different in the UK, but we will work towards that. A 70 is seen as exceptional. So the fact she finished with an 86 was just incredible. And our previous best was 83. So she didn't beat it just. she did an incredible job. And she made the most of her time here at the college. This was some feedback from her when we spoke to her about achieving our highest ever score. Arena said, "I'm a Bournemouth University International College alumna. College became a second home for me, and I was glad to be a part of this fabulous big family. My most favourite part was the openness of tutors and staff with their desire to help me whenever it was needed. Moreover, I found applied learning weeks fascinating, especially writing business plans. It was a great chance to challenge ourselves as teammates and team leaders to get new knowledge and experience. That will be useful for us in the future. To add, college is a great place to find new friends. We learned different languages and cultures. I'm very excited to continue my studies at Bournemouth University. I've read a lot about the Students' Union with clubs and societies, and I plan to participate in some of them. Furthermore, I wish to gain as much new knowledge about the events industry as possible. It was a great experience for me to be a college student, and I'll always be in touch with my staff and tutors." This is great because it reiterates what we said. We are a big family because we are a smaller college. The applied learning weeks she touches on are once every 10 weeks or so. This is an opportunity for you to do some group work with students not on your course and gain other skills like creating videos, websites, business plans, something that might not be covered on your course. And so these opportunities are fantastic for building skills to take you into Bournemouth University, where there's a lot of group work. So we do set you up for university. Moving on to pre-masters for media and communication. Again, the modules are the same. Okay, you still have the same selection of modules. You have English for academic purposes, the research project. Your research project will be more media-based this time. Project management, philosophy, history and culture, and strategic management. The reason for this is to not penalize international students. So British students, if I went to school, I could study subjects not related to what I wanted to study. I can study a degree not related to what I want to study at my master's. And so this has been created for flexibility for you and for your students. There is a chance that a student may study some of this course and have a change of mind. And so it's to give them that flexibility to help discover themselves and learn what they want to do. So if you're moving on to pre-master media and communication, we have directing film and television, media and communications, multimedia journalism, post-production editing, producing film and television, and script writing. And again, coming soon in the next few weeks, hopefully, we have English and literary media, marketing communications, and political psychology. Okay, so again, Bournemouth University is constantly upgrading its courses to be the best they can, but also providing as much openness and opportunity to as many students as possible. Varvara was another one last year, another student from Russia who studied film, a media student, and she was a keen photographer. We were able to run a competition around the Kaplan colleges with National Geographic. I'm sure you've heard of National Geographic before. And so the idea was they gave a theme and some pictures had to be taken and were submitted. They were voted for by students, Kaplan students in the UK, and she was one of the winners. And as you can see, hopefully, she was awarded a book with all the photos in, and you see a picture of a blonde-haired girl on the cover. That is Varvara and her picture. So she was on the cover. She's another great experience related to her hobby rather than her degree. So again, providing opportunity. And she ended up in a seminar with Gabby Salazar, who is a photographer for National Geographic. So that was a great experience for her. Okay, so Next to the college, we have residency. That's important for students. We have Lansdowne Point, which is connected to the college. So from the door of Lansdowne Point to the door of the college takes about 20 seconds. So there's very few excuses for missing classes. There's no transport issues. There's no weather issues. And so Lansdowne Point is a freshly built building, built with the college in 2014-15, and provides studios and normal flats of up to 6 within a safe, fresh setting, which is so close to the college. And so Lansdowne Point hosts up to about 450 students. It also hosts some Bournemouth University students as well, and is considered part of the student family of accommodation in the Lansdowne area. As I mentioned, obviously studying abroad isn't always easy. You want to know you're somewhere safe as well. Apart from Bournemouth having an extremely low crime rate compared to a lot of places, it's nice to know that even in the darker months, you can leave college and you know that your accommodation isn't far away. And if you are taking some time to settle into a new country, that can be quite reassuring. I know it would be for me. So lastly, I just want to share this video with you. This was created by some of our pre-master media students during their time at the college. There was a competition between all of the colleges, and videos were required to be submitted. This was from 2018, I think, and they were voted the winner. In 2019, we were voted runners-up. So we have a good, in this category, we have very good students. And I just thought it'd be a really nice insight into what our pre-master students can produce during their time at the college. And also it shows a bit about Bournemouth, which is, I can talk to you about it, but it's better to see it. So I'm just going to reshare if that's okay. Okay. Sorry.
No, it's all right. We do have some minutes for students who are thinking of some questions for you. So it's totally okay.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, so I will just share this with you. It's about 2 minutes. Enjoy. Can you hear it?
Do you hear me? No, there's no sound.
There's no sound?
Masha, can you hear the sound? I can't.
Yeah, I could hear it. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries.
Do you hear me?
So as I said, that one, just going to go back to it, that won the competition in 2018, voted for by other colleges and other students. So it's always nice when something is produced by students and their peers think it's the best thing that's been produced. So that's fantastic. So yes, that's me. Just a big thank you for having me and allowing us this opportunity. And so, yes, over to Valentina and Maria, and I will stop sharing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Adrian, for your presentation. You completely sold it to me with BAFTA and with the Harry Potter, and I'm sure our students are as smitten as we are. So hopefully we can now get back to the questions, because we have a lot, both on social media and in the chat box. So okay. Let's check what we are having. Okay, we have another question on post-study visa. I think I'm going to cover that, and if you don't mind, I will switch into Russian just to explain to our students what it's like and what we can expect. У нас есть вопрос из соцсетей. Всем очень нравится новая возможность, новая старая возможность для наших студентов. Теперь, как и многие другие страны, Великобритания возвращает право для наших ребят, для тех, кто начинает обучение с сентября 2020 года и onwards на уровне бакалавриата или магистратуры, получить пост-стади визу на поиск работы на 2 года. Это действительно работает. Мы увидим первые результаты, друзья, вот уже этим летом и осенью, когда ребята закончат, первая когорта, так скажем, закончат обучение и будет подаваться на визу. Пока мы ждем официального закрепления процедуры, скорее всего, это произойдет в апреле, и я надеюсь, что ничего больше катаклизматичного не произойдет, и мы все с вами узнаем, друзья. Вот, но пока у нас есть такие данные. Если вы начинаете ваше обучение с сентября 2020 дальше, это касается бака и магистратуры, как я уже отметила, то вы имеете право подать на визу на поиск работы в стране. Выезжать не нужно. Это очень удобно. Turnaround заявлений и время рассмотрения гораздо будет более ускоренный, то есть вам не нужно будет ждать 10 лет, пока ваше заявление рассмотрят. Обещают это сделать в течение нескольких недель, но мы увидим, как это работает. Убрали, по крайней мере, по состоянию на сейчас, убрали список конкретных компаний, которые могли бы раньше вас нанимать как иностранцев, то есть нет такого регламента, нет регламента по определенной заработной плате, что тоже очень большой, просто огромнейший шаг вперед. Поэтому, друзья, если вы сейчас раздумываете, стоит ли пользоваться этой возможностью или нет, конечно, да. Напоминаю, что уже через неделю к нам присоединится глава торговой комиссии Великобритании в России, Тревор. Мы можем его попытать, что же там сейчас на этом поприще творится, поэтому не пропустите наше мероприятие 21 ноября. Валентина будет с нами, через неделю тоже мы будем вести прямое включение с кампусов, поэтому, друзья, обязательно присоединяйтесь, проводите субботний лекторий вместе со Students International. Так, мы возвращаемся к вопросам. Okay, I'm finishing my studies. I've graduated with a specialist degree. It's like a longish bachelor degree, so it's 5 years instead of 4. Usually in Russia, sometimes it's 6 years, but well, that depends on the subject you're studying. Would it be possible to apply for a pre-master's degree with Bournemouth? And would it be a problem if I'm 40 years of age already?
Okay. Would it be possible? Yes. the admissions team look at all of the requirements. Bournemouth, as mentioned, they would like a bachelor's degree, which that sounds like, or even sometimes diplomas. They are quite open to that. So yes, all the courses I mentioned as well don't need previous experience. So you would be able to, we call them conversion courses, and being 40, that doesn't matter. We have 2 students with us at the moment in their 40s. So you are absolutely young enough, and take that opportunity, absolutely. And hopefully I wish you all the best with your future studies.
Thank you very much. And I'll just quickly comment on here. So the question about the age might be visa related, I suppose. I can say that I have a couple of students studying in the UK in their 40s. It's not about the age really, it's about your motivation and about your goals and how clearly you can communicate them to the embassy. So we are helping with that. So we will advise you. So please, if you have questions, do contact Students International, and I'll share our contact details later again, so that you could ask more personal questions on a consultation maybe. And you mentioned that that it's possible to apply, obviously, without having a relevant degree. But I have a lot of questions on social media, pretty much all the same. So do our students need to submit a portfolio, especially if they're planning to progress, let's say, on the script writing? It's really, complicated. You can't just write scripts like that, so you need certain experience. So do they need to submit kind of a portfolio or something for you to judge on?
That is a fantastic question. The degrees that I have included in today's presentation do not require any of that. There are degrees which do require portfolios or show reels, absolutely. However, I've tried to bring some courses and ideas to you that are accessible to you. So yes, there are some degrees, but the ones I've mentioned today do not require any experience or any of that. The reason being, as I mentioned, they are conversion courses, so they're kind of taught from the ground up. So that's why university is looking for the level of education rather than the specifics of the education.
Thank you. I think our students are celebrating at the moment and filing their applications now. Thank you very much for advising. Okay, Marina is asking, would it be possible at all to send some portfolios and works in advance for you to, pre-assess it, so to say? Because, well, oh God, I've lost the word. Sorry. Creative pre-masters, they're pretty tricky sometimes, especially if you've been dealing with like other subjects for all your life and then decided to change everything completely. So would it be possible at all if, for instance, we as an agent contact you with a pile of works for you to like judge them on, or it's not possible?
That's a great question. Thank you, Marina. I totally understand that point. Yes, that's a tricky one. So admissions obviously will review applications, and if there is a requirement for a portfolio, they'll ask for it. If you're asking me whether I would be able to look at work with the university to see if you're eligible, I would have to find out from the international missions team at Bournemouth University. I do have close links with them, but I'm not sure how that would quite fit into the application process and whether we would be responsible for that or not.
I think Marina, sorry, go on.
Oh, sorry, I can take that one. So the majority of those courses, they don't really require a portfolio, so that wouldn't be a necessity. If you feel like you need somebody's opinion on them, so what we have is called an ADM panel. So we making decisions would be too big of a term, but we can pre-assess what you have sent us. It would be a bit of a personal opinion built on the other portfolios we've seen around the time. It wouldn't really affect your admission because we don't require a portfolio. But if you want an opinion, I guess we can offer you one if you are after an opinion, that is.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for covering that. And I have a couple of questions on social media again, asking about the practical component of the program. So you mentioned a lot of links with the industry, and now our social media is raging about how would it be possible in order to secure, some placement maybe, or internship, anything. Is there an opportunity at all?
Yes, a great question. Particularly working within the industry gives you such opportunities going forward. So much so that Bournemouth University has a specialist placement team. So once you're at the university, you'll be able to work with them, and they will help you look at your CV, how to apply, companies that are eligible to take placements, and so. That is one of the great things about BU is they offer placements, but they also offer the opportunity to do that. Sorry, there's someone at the door. Do you mind if I just...
Yes, sure, totally. It's all right. No, it's all right. We do have a lot of questions, and myself and Valentina could cover that. It's okay. Так, друзья, мы пока Джен спасает кого-то у двери, мы можем с вами ответить на вопросы. Так, значит, мне в личное сообщение поступил такой вопрос. Можно ли сдать какой-либо другой экзамен языковой, кроме IELTS UKVI? Может быть, можно сдать Duolingo или что-то еще?
Это было бы прекрасно, но, к сожалению, на данном этапе, когда речь идет о программе премастера, это IELTS UKVI. У этого есть хорошая сторона. Многие люди, которые боятся IELTS UKVI, просто не знают, что, во-первых, у Students International есть прекрасная и программа подготовки, и возможность сдать, то есть открыты абсолютно все двери. Во-вторых, IELTS UKVI с точки зрения своей структуры ничем не отличается от обычного IELTS. Это прекрасная, великолепная британская формальность, порадуемся этому. Значит, и третий аспект связан с тем, что когда мы рассматриваем студентов, у нас всегда есть система merit-based scholarships, да? То есть мы всегда стараемся выдать какой-то формат скидки, финансового поощрения. Можно сказать, что студентам, которые подходят нам с академической точки зрения, и английский тоже в этот процесс вовлечен. Не переживайте, финансово это будет не столь тяжелый вариант, поскольку у вас есть более чем реальный шанс получить скидку.
Спасибо большое. Я, наверное, сейчас еще продемонстрирую, напомню контакты, да, наши, чтобы, если вдруг вам требуется сдача экзамена, то, пожалуйста, да, обращайтесь к нам. Хочу напомнить, что сдать IELTS UKVI в России можно, в Москве можно только у нас. Напоминаю, это важно. Будьте внимательны, когда вы букируете экзамен. Поэтому переходите на ielts.ru и смотрите подходящие даты. И Валентина верно заметила, мои коллеги из нашей школы подготовки делают все возможное. Ну, то есть у вас нет шансов не сдать. Если вы приходите к нам, у вас других вариантов нет, вы сдаете на необходимый балл, поэтому обращайтесь, все наши контактные детали отражены, поэтому, пожалуйста. Нет, Влада, экзамен не только в Москве, вы можете перейти на сайт нашего тест-центра, выбрать необходимый вам город или как минимум ближайший к вам и посмотреть доступные даты. Просто в Москве больше всего, конечно, опций по слотам. У нас можно сдать компьютерную опцию, и paper-based, да, какую вам удобнее. Поэтому, пожалуйста, переходите на сайт, если что, мы будем рады информационно помочь, поэтому это не так страшно, как все думают, да, поэтому не бойтесь, пожалуйста, этого IELTS. Так, у нас есть еще один вопрос, we have another question. So, how far in advance you need to apply? So let's say if a student decides right now to apply to Bournemouth, is it possible at all, or is it just like a fat chance that you still have places for January?
Absolutely, we have places for January. So how long does an application take? I would say, depending if all the documents are ready, applications can be turned around very quickly. And when I say very quickly, I mean within a week, probably. So we have places for January. So if you were interested in coming in January for the 2-term, that is very possible. Applying, as long as the documentation's there and the communication with admissions is constant, I think within 6 or 7 days, everything could be sorted if everything is ready. So if you're interested and obviously are interested in January, yeah, there's still plenty of time, and that's whether that's here or at any of the other colleges. That's kind of the admission timeline. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I just can quickly comment in Russian, if you don't mind. Прям могу проиллюстрировать слова, которые Эдриан нам только что сказал. Все может происходить достаточно быстро, как со стороны Каплана и университетов, так и с нашей стороны. Вот буквально вчера вечером подавали студентку на визу, которой очень нужно приехать в ноябре, потому что программа вот уже начнется. И это реально абсолютно при условии, что у вас все готово. Конечно, на ноябрь мы уже немножко не успеем, вот, но на январь, если вы задаетесь целью, мы задаемся ею вместе с вами, Students International поможет все сделать, визовое рассмотрение ускоренное вернулось, хорошие новости, так что теперь у нас чуть-чуть больше места для маневра. So, and I'm looking through the questions and it seems that we've covered everything, for now at least. So, yeah, Valeria, you wanted to say something?
I actually wanted to give a little bit of a summary in Russian, if it's okay. Мы очень много работаем со студентами и часто получаем вопрос, тот, о котором, в принципе, рассказывал Эдриан, да, что есть люди, которые приходят с одним образованием, дальше они хотят уходить в креативную сферу. И часто именно в разговоре с такими студентами немножечко боишься, думаешь, креативная профессия, как же карьера, как же вот благосостояние, боишься, что что-то где-то не угадаешь. Талант – вопрос очень сильно висящий в воздухе. Его можно видеть, можно сомневаться в нем. Сложно оценить, скажем так, с первого взгляда на студента. Но университет Борнмута заставляет меня верить и видеть, как люди, которые интересуются творческой профессией, такой, которая связана с фильмами, со скриптрайтингом, с вещами, завязанными на талант, не только на навык, именно таким людям университет и колледж помогают найти не просто профессию, но и спокойное, комфортное будущее. И если вас интересует что-то творческое, пожалуйста, присмотритесь к Борнмуту. Не просто много предлагаемых специальностей, но и рабочие возможности. Надеюсь, что это мы смогли вам рассказать, потому что это ключевой, нестандартный, интересный, важный.
Ну, там такой послужной список, конечно, у ребят, которые выпустились, и такое количество компаний, которые помогают реализовывать программы, просто восторг. Поэтому, ребята, не бойтесь ничего, мы с вами. Да, мы вместе все сможем. So, should we move on to IT then?
Yeah, we absolutely.
So, Adrian, we're just saying thanks for joining us on the Saturday. So thank you very much. We do appreciate that. Thank you for your presentation and for covering all the questions from our students. So hopefully you'll be visiting us soon as well. So please do. We need some masterclasses on creative programs in Russia. So please do. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. And you have a great day, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Мы, друзья, наконец-то переходим к такой сложной, интересной теме получения IT-образования в Великобритании, если у вас не профильный диплом. И сейчас буквально через пару секунд мы увидим супер-сюрприз от Карлы Смедберг. Она директор программы, которая занимается непосредственно компьютингом. Не буду говорить, что мы сделали, чтобы она предоставила нам этот бонус. Все для вас, друзья. Видите, мы даже допытали директора программы, поэтому надеюсь, что вам будет интересно, и мы расскажем сейчас, что же, собственно, нужно сделать, чтобы получить магистратуру по IT, по Computer Science или каким-то related предметам, если у вас не совсем релевантный диплом. И теперь, Валентина, передаю слово тебе.
Спасибо. Наверное, запрос про компьютеры и смену своего направления в сторону компьютеров – это всегда один из самых популярных. Очень многие люди начинают образование в одной сфере, потом понимают, что компьютеры – это интересно, а иногда всегда было интересно, но переключиться из гуманитарной сферы в компьютеры не всегда просто, а иногда бывает очень проблематично от страны к стране. Наша коллега Карла, которая, как сказала Мария, директор программ, она как раз занимается ситуациями студентов, которые меняют направление обучения. Она работает при университете Ноттингем-Трент, который с каждым годом повышает свои рейтинги в Великобритании, и в том числе связанные с компьютерами. Для того, чтобы получить от нее эту запись, мы очень-очень просили ее рассказать нам именно о студентах, которые меняют направление. И сегодня мы покажем вам запись того, как она рассказывает детали о программах, о результатах, о требованиях, о том, какие доступны конкретные специальности. И после того, как она окончит, я с удовольствием отвечу на ваши вопросы и проговорю те ситуации с моими студентами, которые показались наиболее интересными именно в этом направлении. Maria, will you share the screen or should I?
Could you please do that? And I'll stop sharing mine for now.
No problem. Just a second. We do that. It will be a small. Okay, so you should be able to see this in a second. Okay, I'm going to be sharing my sound and my screen. Okay, you should be able to see that now.
Yeah, we can see that.
Прекрасно. Я включаю презентацию. Надеюсь, что все будет слышно. При любых сложностях говорите, будем решать. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Welcome to this presentation about the Pre-Masters in Computing at Nottingham-Trent International College, which is an embedded college at the Nottingham-Trent University. My name is Carla Smedberg and I am the Programme Leader for Science, Engineering and Computing. The Nottingham-Trent University is an excellent place to come and study at. It is a top 20 UK university and is considered to be in the top 10 UK universities for teaching quality, having been rated as gold in the Teaching Excellence Framework. The university values skills development and applying theory to real-world contexts. For this reason, every degree at Nottingham-Trent University provides a work placement opportunity. The city of Nottingham is ranked as the 4th most affordable student city in the UK, providing students value for money. Nottingham is a cultural hub and UNESCO World City of Literature, creating an enriched environment to live and learn. It should therefore be no surprise to learn the Nottingham-Trent University won the Times Higher Education Award for University of the Year in 2017 and quickly followed this up the following year by receiving the award for Modern University of the Year 2018 from the Times and Sunday Times. Students at Nottingham-Trent University have very specific reasons for choosing to study at the university. They have chosen to study at NTU because they want a practical learning experience with opportunities to apply theory to practice. They want to have a campus life that enriches their experience and supports their personal and academic developments whilst feeling safe. The buzzing life of a city that embraces students helps students to feel welcomed into a modern university. Finally, students want value for money. They want a great education and student life that is affordable for them. So where is Nottingham? Nottingham is in the heart of the UK, less than 2 hours by train from London. The university has a large campus situated within the city centre, which is where you will find Nottingham-Trent International College. The university has 3 additional campuses located in Clifton, Brackenhurst and the Creative Quarter. Studies for the pre-masters in computing takes place in the city campus, with students progressing to their master's degree in computing at the Clifton campus. Each campus has a fantastic library which is open around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To encourage and develop new business, the university has dedicated innovative hive spaces for entrepreneurs. Again, the university is helping students to go beyond theory to support application in the real world. The university continues to invest in having world-class facilities, having injected £421 million in investment since 2004. Facilities which include libraries, IT suites, student unions, sports facilities, cafes, shops and bars, global lounge and health centres. So far, I have talked about Nottingham City and the university, hopefully giving you a sense of what you might expect if you come to study and live here. Now I want to talk more specifically about computing and why this may be an ideal route for your continued development. Firstly, there is a wide range of career opportunities in this sector, with computing and computing-related careers growing. Secondly, a master's in computing can diversify your current skill set, making you more attractive to employers and potentially help you to change your trajectory. Here are some examples of typical salaries within the sector. Take a moment to review these. You may be wondering whether you would be able to progress to a master's degree involving computing if you had not previously studied computing. The answer is yes, you can. Not all master's degrees in computing will be available to you. However, master's degrees in IT security and computer systems are options if you have studied degrees such as sports sciences, biomedical sciences, economics, information systems, or multimedia, to name a few. Even if you've not studied these, but you have relevant qualifications or relevant employment experience, you may still be considered. The Masters in IT Security. An IT Security Masters course will prepare you for roles as a technical security specialist together with a range of technical roles. You will also have the potential to develop into security consultancy and technical management roles. Recent graduates have secured roles with employers such as Railway Security Design Institute Group Corp, Bouygues Telecoms and NPEC Group as software developers, web designers and system administrators. For more information, you can visit the NTU website. For a Masters in Computer Systems, the industry-focused nature of this Computing Systems Masters course will ensure that you stand out from the crowd when it comes to job applications and pursuing your future career. For courses that provide the software engineering knowledge and programming skills necessary for a broad range of careers in the industrial and business sectors and the transferable ICT skills to go with them. This means that you will be highly sought after by employers such as Siemens Communication, or for IT positions with the finance and banking sectors, for example. How do you get there? Routes to pre-masters computing at Nottingham Trent University. Pre-master's entry requirements, at least 3 years of higher education, and at least a UKSV IELTS of 5.0 with a minimum of 4.5 in all skills. After completing your pre-masters, you will go on to do a master's degree, which is typically 1 year. However, this can be extended with a placement opportunity. Once you've completed as your graduate, you will graduate with your master's degree. While you're doing your pre-masters, you will study several core subjects and elective subjects. The core subjects are subjects that you must study. These include research project and English for academic purposes, unless you are exempt from language. You'll then get to choose 2 of the following: advanced social sciences, advanced statistics, engineering, science and society, project management, and UK society and culture advanced. These are the elective modules. You can extend your masters by doing a placement opportunity. You can apply for the sandwich option of the course, where you will receive extensive help in obtaining a valuable 1-year paid work placement and continued support during the placement period. This is an ideal way to get your career off to a flying start. Nottingham International College is located within easy reach of the town centre, based at the University City campus. You will receive one-to-one academic support, as well as being in your classes. Dedicated support team to assist with student welfare and access to top quality facilities at Nottingham University. Before you arrive, you will get support for pre-arrival. You can arrange airport pickup with support from Kaplan. In your first week, you will be embraced and welcomed into the college, getting everything you need from your IT login details to finding more about the city and other events. There are always social activities to help you to integrate into student life in the city. Student life for NTIC students can involve a variety of things. The Student Union on campus, with more than 200 societies to choose from, which you can join as soon as you start at the college. There are sports clubs for students to join. Whatever your choice of sport, there's likely to be a club for you to join. Global Lounge will help to organise cultural events and celebrations. Sports facilities are on every campus, and there is a student music centre for all your tastes. Here's a brief video to tell you a little bit or show you a little bit more about the university, the college and the city.
Коллеги, буквально 1 секунду, мне нужно будет остановить видео, потому что оно дается здесь, к сожалению, без музыки, а мы бы хотели вам это показать с музыкой. Буквально 1 секунду, если вы, конечно, не против. А я надеюсь, что вы не против.
Я думаю, все будут очень рады. Поэтому, друзья, пока у нас есть полсекундочки буквально, хочу напомнить, что вы можете писать ваши вопросы в чат-боксе, либо в секции «Вопросы-ответы», да, и мы совсем скоро к ним вернемся.
Спасибо. Вот сейчас должен быть мой экран, и включаем. Должно работать. Я надеюсь, что это видео дало вам понимание того, насколько живой и активный город Ноттингем. В Великобритании все города имеют разные форматы, и часто наши студенты представляют себе Лондон, иногда Манчестер и вот совсем-совсем иногда Ньюкасл. Так вот, в Великобритании много прекрасных городов с возможностями не только для обучения, но и для работы. Если вы рассматриваете компьютерное направление как то, чем вы хотели бы заниматься, и ту профессию, в которую вы хотите уходить в принципе, а мы видели сегодня, что было много вопросов, связанных с профессиональным развитием и работой после обучения. Nottingham Trend дает множество компьютерных возможностей и, главное, опций плейсмента. Тогда, когда вы будете завершать свое обучение, фактор того, сможете ли вы работать в этой сфере и дает ли город возможности для рабочих практик, должен быть одним из факторов, на которые вы смотрите. И те направления, которые чаще всего выбирают люди, которые уходят в компьютерную сферу, это обычно computer science, IT security. Как раз эти направления открыты в университете для тех студентов, у которых нет профильного бакалавра. Через программу премастера вы не просто сможете уйти в эту сферу, вы сможете к ней адекватно подготовиться. Надеюсь, мы это рассказали.
Спасибо большое, Валентина, за такой самап очень хороший. Я тоже очень искренне надеюсь, что мы сегодня ребятам показали, что есть разные варианты, и что если вы, предположим, не сделали компьютерный дегри в самом начале на бакалавриате, то все, вы не можете никогда, о боже, работать в этом направлении. Видите, конечно, можете, и есть большое-большое количество вариантов. У нас поступило несколько вопросов как раз-таки по Ноттингему и по компьютерным наукам. Я сейчас зачитаю, одну секундочку. У нас такое количество чатов открыто, откуда я смотрю вопросы, такое ощущение, что я на бирже практически с таким большим количеством экранов. Так, значит, у нас поступил вопрос от Артема. Спасибо большое за презентацию. Зацепил слайд господи, как они называются, зарплатными рейтами. И у Артема вопрос. Это стартовые зарплаты выпускников или это уже информация про специалистов, которые проработали какое-то время, у них больше опыт, нежели чем у ребят, которые сделают pre-masters и masters?
Отличный вопрос. Значит, во-первых, это был слайд, который взят с концепта average base pay, то есть то, что выравнивается по Великобритании в сторону определенного уровня. Если на слайде написано, что это менеджер, то это обычно it's not entry level, менеджер это чуть более продвинутый уровень. Вы будете, допустим, associate кто-нибудь или assistant to, тогда, когда это входное направление. Если вы видите на слайде комментарий, что кто-то senior что-либо, понятно, это уже продвинутый вариант. Значит, тот слайд, который я показала, во-первых, был вне Лондона, потому что Лондон – это отдельная вселенная по многим показателям, в том числе и по зарплатам. Это показатель не на входном уровне, а обычно либо через несколько лет, либо после магистратуры average pay по Великобритании.
Да, спасибо большое. У нас еще Анна Карпова поднимает руку. Анна, пожалуйста, напишите ваш вопрос в чате, если вас не затруднит, чтобы мы могли на него ответить. Можете сделать это в чат-боксе, либо в Q&A.
И маленький комментарий про зарплату еще. У меня очень часто спрашивают, как понять зарплату, чтобы вот не прогадать, да, то есть откуда брать информацию. На самом деле есть ресурс, который прекрасно доступен нам всем, да, это ресурс LinkedIn, который в том числе имеет секцию зарплат. И если вы наберете интересующую вас вакансию, вам придется немножко поработать, то есть это не будет сразу в дамке, нужно будет отфильтровать, вам нужно будет выбрать желаемую локацию и почитать в описаниях вакансии то, какое количество лет опыта хотят. Но вы сможете average out, то есть примерно понять, какая как раз зарплата в определенном регионе по определенному направлению. Также отличный показатель для того, чтобы понять, где кого ищут. Там, где много вакансий в том направлении, возможно, вам туда, да? И вы также увидите, что компьютерного запроса очень много, и это прекрасно.
Да, спасибо большое. Это несколько ведет к нашему следующему вопросу от Сергея уже, да, из ВКонтакте, из нашей трансляции. Больше ли шансов будет получить работу у студента, у которого и бакалавриат, и магистратура по IT или Computer Science? Или все-таки шанс у тех ребят, которые сделали pre-masters и masters, хотя бы практически наравне с теми, у кого все было релевантное?
Это отличный вопрос. Я думаю, что здесь немножко будет ответ еще с моей личной точки зрения, потому что здесь есть немножечко opinion element to it. Мне кажется, что позитивное изменение на рынке труда сейчас в том, что человека начинают оценивать больше как целый пакет чего-то, да, то есть и личность, и soft skills особенно, и опыт, и умение подать проекты, и то, как он ведет negotiations во время получения работы, как он проходит собеседование, и все это вместе будет влиять больше, чем любой отдельный конкретный элемент. Мы очень часто, я думаю, что Мария тоже слышим вопрос, в какой университет мне пойти или какую специальность мне взять, чтобы у меня была карьера. А на самом деле ответ многоуровневый, нужно соблюсти большое количество факторов. Я бы сказала так, если у вас есть премастер, давайте скажу, нет, у вас есть непрофильный бакалавр, премастер и мастер, если бы я решала эту задачу, я бы сказала, подайте это как показатель вашего усердия. У вас не было легкого пути, вы не взяли сразу профильный бакалавр, профильный магистр и все, да? Вы шли многоступенчато. И подчеркните это как показатель вашего желания работать в этой сфере. В отличие от многих других, вы готовы, вы стараетесь, вы сделали по максимуму, вы столько всего вложили. Я думаю, это может быть очень эффективно.
Я прям согласна на все 100%. Сейчас время возможностей на самом деле, поэтому не бойтесь пробовать. И Великобритания в этом смысле максимально гибкая, чтобы дать вам все абсолютно ресурсы и навыки, которые университеты могут предложить для того, чтобы вы преуспели. Здесь хочу еще такой favorable комментарий сделать в пользу получения, в принципе, образования в Великобритании. И я здесь даже не буду, наверное, говорить про рейтинги университетов, про качество, про репутацию, хотя, безусловно, it's all there. То есть мне думается, что даже не нужно говорить дополнительно в поддержку именно вот этих пунктов ничего. Но хочу напомнить, что именно в это странное время, которое у нас сейчас происходит, именно вузы Великобритании сделали все абсолютно, чтобы вам было безопасно учиться, и у вас было ровно столько же возможностей, как если бы это обычное было бы время. Поэтому жизнь не остановилась. Мы об этом расскажем еще через неделю. Хочу напомнить вам про наш такой большой кампус-тур, беспрецедентный просто, еще такого не происходило. Вместе с посольством Великобритании в Москве и с моими коллегами из Kaplan International Colleges мы все вам покажем, как изнутри, что происходит и работает, поэтому обязательно подключайтесь. Я вам сейчас покажу наши контакты. Секундочку. И чтобы вы помнили, где нас искать, где искать информацию о нас. Да, и о мероприятиях, в том числе, где регистрироваться на предстоящий кампус-тур. Напоминаю, что помимо кампус-тура нас ждут индивидуальные консультации и admissions on the spot с лучшими университетами мира, поэтому... Друзья, я не знаю, почему вы еще не регистрируетесь. Вы можете найти нас по сайту studenter.ru. Если вы не из Москвы, то вы будете рады увидеть адреса наших 45 офисов по России, Украине и Казахстану. Поэтому, пожалуйста, если вы хотите написать в наш отдел и попросить помощи в зачислении, что мы, безусловно, будем рады сделать, именно для этого мы организовываем образовательный лекторий по субботам, то вы можете написать на почту, которую я отправила в чат-бокс. Я и мои коллеги будем рады просто взять руки, ноги, все в руки вместе с вашими документами и зачислить вас как можно скорее, помочь советам, помочь с документами, помочь с экзаменом, абсолютно всем. Я вижу, что, несмотря на то, что я очень долго говорю, больше вопросов никто нам не написал. в соцсетях, вроде бы мы тоже на все ответили, поэтому я бы, наверное, хотела поблагодарить вас всех, друзья, за то, что вы в субботу пришли с таким намерением очень хорошим, очень светлым учиться, получать образование. Все возможно. Мы с Валентиной приложим все усилия, чтобы это, возможно, приблизилось к вам как можно скорее. Пожалуйста, обращайтесь в Students International. Мы вам поможем с поступлением в ваш вуз мечты и, наконец-таки, приблизим вас к той специальности, которую вы все-таки очень-очень-очень хотели. Поэтому давайте сбывать мечты вместе, друзья. Валентина, спасибо большое, что подключилась к нам тоже в выходной. Благодарим еще раз коллег, которые были вместе с нами. Контакты вы видите на ваших экранах, поэтому до связи и увидимся через неделю на нашем кампус-туре. Всем хороших выходных.
Пока-пока.